Should you hire a social media manager, a freelancer, or an agency to help your business with social media? Well, it's not as easy of a question to answer as you may think. Let's get into what the options are and what might be best for your business. Okay, numero uno, bringing somebody in-house to be the social media manager. Look, a lot of positives when it comes to this, right? You get brand immersion, you get people who can come to meetings, they're going to be able to collaborate with the rest of your team. They are going to ride for the brand. They might not ride or die. Nobody should die for a business, but they're going to ride for the brand, and they're going to be really, really embedded in what you're trying to do, understand the company mission. They're all in, so to speak. So that is a huge benefit when it comes to hiring a social media manager. But let's look at some of maybe I don't want to call them downsides, but let's look at some of the costs and challenges that come along with hiring an internal social media manager. Let's look at some of the real cost. You are looking at an average salary of $58,000. Then you have to look at benefits, state taxes, employee taxes, whatever you are putting into that whole pot. It might end up costing your business $70,000 to $80,000 to onboard, bring on, and pay for a social media manager in-house. So that's some of the upfront costs. But there are hidden challenges that come along with this and some hidden costs as well. So let's talk about the challenges because I think they really outline the costs. The biggest challenge with hiring a social media manager is this. Businesses think that they can hire one person who can do copywriting, graphic design, social media, video, be on camera sometimes, analytics, scheduling, community management, you name it. They try to wrap all of that into one person's job function. It's just one problem. One person can't do that. And if they try to, either going to do it poorly or they're going to burn out. That challenge and those challenges there in itself create a couple results. One, you're going to have poor marketing, right? If one person's trying to do everything, one person can't do everything. Tom Brady can't catch his own passes on a football field. He needs the receiver, right? He needs Gronk to run down the field and catch it. He needs other people to block. Like all of these things work together. So we need to think about that when we bring on the social media manager, that you are going to have to find a solution for. If they're great at one thing, you're going to have to find a solution for the other thing. So you're probably going to need to find a graphic designer, probably going to need to find a copywriter or video person, or you're going to need to freelance some of those aspects. So you're going to need to go get freelancers for that. Well, you have the in-house person who kind of manages it all. So there's additional real costs there too. If you have the salary of the one person and then you have to go out and get a couple freelancers. Now there's also a time cost to other marketers on your team, to senior leadership, etc. You can't just dump a social media manager in and say, great, go run with it. I've hired the youngest person I could find on Indeed or LinkedIn. They're going to run our socials. Yeah, it's not going to work. You're going to need a senior manager, a senior marketer in the room who can help guide strategy, help align the social with the business goals, and really act as, honestly, a mentor to that social media manager so they can bring all the new and cool content types, but your senior person can bring that experience and that wisdom to say, okay, out of all the content types and things you brought our way, here are the 3 or 4 that we can execute on and we have budget to execute on. Here are the other 3 that really align with our business goals. So these are the ones we should do. So you have to think about that. You're going to need some senior person in the room. You're also going to need other people who can handle the graphic design or handle the video creation. So there's additional costs, both hidden and real. Okay, numero dos. Let's talk about freelancers. Freelancers are a great tool, particularly for businesses that are in their infancy when it comes to marketing. So you're just like, hey, we got to get something going. We got a tight budget. Amazing. Go find a couple freelancers. This is the thing, a couple freelancers. No one freelancer. It's the same problem with social media manager, right? No one person can do it all. So freelancers are going to be between 50 to 150 bucks an hour, depending on the specialty you hire for. Think of that. Specialty is actually one of the big benefits to hiring freelancers. If you need help with, let's say, your TikTok channel or a YouTube channel, you can go hire a freelancer who is specialized in TikTok, in YouTube. So that gives you a leg up because they actually know what they're doing. You don't have to come in and spend a bunch of time learning. They can come in and quickly accelerate your marketing in those specific channels. But you will need a couple freelancers if you're looking to, have your entire social media kind of apparatus be managed by freelancers. You're going to need a couple freelancers and you're going to need a point person, a person who actually manage those freelancers, make sure that they get the content in on time, make sure that things are on brand, that people attend meetings when you have them, that reports come in, all of those things that are the managerial cost, that's going to be there with freelancers too. But they do give you specialization, which is nice. Number 3, agency partnerships. Okay, I get it. The big bad agency, people have agency horror stories. A lot of them do this bait and switch, right? Where they come out and you have the senior leadership will sell you on everything and how they're going to move the mountains for you. And then when you sign on, you get handed off to a pod of 22-year-olds who don't understand your industry, don't have experience, or it just feels like, man, I'm like client number 300 here. I'm not a priority. So we don't want to have that feeling. Now, Now, the benefit with agencies is they give you speed and tools to scale. They have graphic designers, they have copywriters, they have video people, they have strategists. So when you come in with a problem or you come with an issue you're having, they can oftentimes solve it a lot faster. Now, agencies do come with a higher price tag, but you are paying for the institutional setup that they have, the systems that they have, the expertise that they have across all of their departments. That's what you're paying for. Now, there are a couple types of agencies, and this is important. There are your big agencies, right? Your behemoth agencies. And those are the ones that you read about in Adweek. And hey, you want to work with them, go nuts. It's probably part of a holistic marketing plan where they have social division, but they're also helping you with TV buys, commercials, out of home, experiential. They're doing it all. That's one thing. If you are in that world and that's the level that your brand is hiring at, awesome. Go do that. You're going to pay a premium, but you will have access to a lot of talent. The second, which is the other side of the coin, is where you have someone who's a front man or woman and they sell the work and then they are managing an overseas operation. And no shade to people overseas, they can do great work, but you need to know what that is. And sometimes it's sold as if it's something different than that, or as if the front person is doing the work. So I just would say ask who is actually going to be working on your account in both of those scenarios. The big agency where you're sold by senior leadership and they hand it off to a pod of, 22-year-olds, just ask, hey, I want to meet the people. Who are my day-to-day? Who is going to be working on my account? And then go ask that agency owner who's doing the song and dance for you, but then is just subcontracting everything. Go ask that person as well. Hey, who's going to be working on my account? You want to make sure you get a straight answer there. Now, the third option you have, which I'm partial to because this is the business I run, so I'm super biased, but is finding an agency that has between 5 to 40 staff. Now, this size agency has an advantage. They really bridge the gap between a bunch of freelancers and a big agency, and they come in with a much more approachable cost structure for you, but they still have expertise and a lot of times domain expertise. So you can go find an agency that is, hey, this is the Google first agency, or in our case, this is the social media, first social media led agency, and you can hire us and then we have a bunch of services that we offer all under one roof. Okay, great. The cost is very upfront. The people that pitch you are the people who are working on your account, and it's much more of a, an extension of your team. They come in and they're really going to embed themselves in the process, in the business. Those businesses are out there and every city has them. So I would just say if you're looking for a solution that's kind of that, you don't want to train people, you want people who've been there, done that, but you also don't want to really spend your entire budget on, on an agency. Okay, go find that boutique agency in your metro area, or if you're a national brand, somebody nationally, and they'll be able to help you out. Ultimately, when it comes to making the decision, it's going to come down to a couple things: your budget, your goals, your internal team, and time, right? You need to look at all of those. How do you have them aligned? What's important to you? Where are you trying to go? And do you have the cash to do it? Because those are all real considerations when it comes to deciding between, should I hire a social media manager in-house? Should I hire a freelancer? Should I hire an agency? Should I do some blend of all of those, right? The answer is really going to be specific to your company. So I hope that helped. I'm Jordan Shelton. This was the Mind Your Marketing podcast. If you liked this episode, please hit like or leave a comment below. It means a lot to us, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.